Hey, what's up, y'all? Your favorite talk show host once again, Leo, and you're probably wondering once again, where's Mr. C? Sadly, he's not here with us, but I will be seeing him later, and hopefully y'all will too if you check out our Instagrams to see what we're up to. But I wanted to continue our little interviewing, kind of vlogging thing that we have going on. Because I thought it's really important. Me and Mr. C agree that it's really important to show y'all the leaders around our community, your community, and just kind of letting y'all see, like, you know, you don't have to have certain like experience or knowledge of certain things to like be a leader. It's all about learning and honestly just talking to people and networking. So I had the opportunity to kind of like present for this like facilitating group discussion type of thing. You might think it's kind of boring, but it's really cool because you get to learn a lot of things and you get to meet people. So I got to talk about my personal story and hear this amazing activist in the LGBTQ and Latinx community. Latinx, you might be like, what's Latinx? Well, join us on Tuesday and you'll find out what it means. But pretty much Latinx is just a more inclusive word for Latino, Latina. For people who identify as like Latinos. So got to meet this amazing person. Her name is Isa. She's a trans Latinx activist in the LGBTQ plus community, has done a lot of work on immigration, releasing people who are incarcerated in ICE. They're originally from the Bay, but recently moved to Texas, doing more immigration work. But I had the honor of hearing her story and pretty much bringing light to everything that's happening right now with how women are being treated in ICE facilities and men as well, and the violence that's happening around the trans community. And so I hope y'all can watch the video up here to see a little bit of what she got to talk about, and most importantly, the 3 takeaways that she really brings in. I want y'all to really listen to it and leave there with like an open mind and just kind of, you know, when you're just like, wow, I really didn't know that, because that's how I left. And I hope y'all leave that way, and I hope y'all enjoy the video so we can talk about it tomorrow. If y'all know, tomorrow's leadership with me and Mr. C from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And we're going to be talking about this and the importance of kind of being there for our communities and how we can be a better ally, support, and be there for one another. And we're going to be talking about what does Latinx mean, you know? What does it mean? How can I use the word Latinx correctly? But for now, enjoy the video.
Like, I was offered 3 takeaways for folks to wrap their head around. Allyship, if folks want to use that word, or the co-conspirator, or whatever word, honestly, they want to use and they feel comfortable with in terms of thinking of how they think of their proximity, their relationships within trans communities, and accept that you actually are not immune to bias, right? And so you're in the process of unlearning and raising your consciousness around these issues, but like, we've been socialized so much and so heavily, it's ingrained in our culture that around gender and these gender boxes, that it's a part of, like, it's just an unconscious way, a knee-jerk reaction of how we're living and how we're thinking about it. So just accepting that helps to actually become more open, right, around the unlearning piece. I think the other part in that unlearning and staying open is to educate yourself, to be aware of your own biases. How do we build that muscle memory and that building of skill? And through these events like this, or through other learning circles and opportunities, what are our proactive steps that we're going to take to seek out more information and to build community, intentional community? That part is, I think, goes hand in hand with the staying open piece and increasing our self-awareness around these issues. And then the third part, I would say, is authentic allyship doesn't come easy, and it does come from a genuine concern about the consequences of our biases. You know, that I think that there is a connection to our collective consciousness to these formations and manifestations of systemic oppression. It's not just about the gender reveal party, right? It's how that's connected to the ways that trans folks are limited in their options around their gender ID and gender marker, right? Through birth certificates and through policies that states have around limiting that option and that possibility for trans folks, right? And then how then that further translates into employment opportunities, right? That if your ID and if, when you go to HR and you turn in an ID that doesn't match your presentation, how then that's, is a discrimination can happen in that moment, right? And so I think to me, it's like, how do we understand the consequences of our conversations when we are talking about gender on a basic level with our friends, of what it means to be a man, of what it means to be a woman, right? And what does it mean to actually have a more diverse understanding around those ideas and those.
If you have any questions, make sure to write it down and ask me and Mr. C about it, and we can have a bigger conversation about this. But for now, stay tuned. Watch the video, join us. Don't forget, join us tomorrow, Tuesday, from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is Leo, your talk show host, signing out.